Hey, what do you say we race a pump track? Hey, we're live to the house out here. What's up, Whistler? How you doing? Get loud, put your hands in the air. You are also live on Red Bull Bike YouTube channel. It's been one heck of a day out here on the Boneyard. The dust is just settling from an amazing Red Bull joyride, and here we are now at the Outdoor Research Ultimate Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. I'm your host, Cam McCall, alongside Alan Cook. This is the final event of the season. Can you believe it, Alan?
Oh man, I'm so excited to get this thing going. It's like the send-off party. You know, the season is wrapping up, the Crankworx Whistler's wrapping up. It's a party on the hill. The riders are ready to go. We're ready to go. It's gonna be good.
We got series overalls to give out. We have King and Queen of Crankworx titles to give out. And most importantly, we have an immaculate looking pump track behind us, and we get to watch the round of 8 for the men, the round of 8 for the women. Of course, we're coming into this season with Ryan Gilchrist being the reigning King of Crankworx from last season. Yeah, he's basically delivering on that promise he made last year as being the King of Crankworx. He's been slaying events all season long. He's back from a wrist injury. He's on the start list today. We just had an insane turn of events out here watching Eddie Reynolds knock the King out of the event out here today, but also grabbing his first gold medal at the last stop in Cairns, Australia. Tegan Cruz, man, he's been climbing the ranks as a junior. We're seeing some photos on screen right now from he and his family who've been coming to Crankworx since they were little fetuses. He won the dual slalom in Cairns. He is sitting pretty in the pump track series standings as well, and he's looking to add to the tally out here, qualifying well and making it into the round of 8, which is the big show, the broadcast for Ultimate Pump Track Challenge. How about the women, Alan?
Yeah, the ladies have been shredding. You know what's gonna happen here. Sabina, Košárková, and Jordy Scott are gonna be sending it. They're so close in points right now. This track is looking super diabolical. It's really, really easy to override out here, so these riders are gonna need to be super intense as well as being calm.
So exciting little bit of math here for the women's series overall. Jordy Scott leading the series with 270 points, but only 10 points behind her is Sabina Košárková. Caroline Buchanan in the race today. She's sitting in third in the overall. She was our field correspondent for Joyride. She put down the pretty fancy clothes and the microphone, grabbed a helmet and a bike, and another set of pretty fancy clothes because she's always wearing something fashionable out here on the course. She is a former Queen of Crankworx. And if you want to look fashionable, guess what, viewers? We are giving away a Darko prize pack. Jorts. What do you think about jorts, everybody? Get quiet if you don't like them. Get loud if you like them. You guys like jorts? Oh, a lot of jorts fans out there. You can win some Darko jorts and a white organic cotton tee, as well as some gravity knee pads and elbow pads. All you have to do is follow at Crankworx, follow at Darko Clothing, like the post, and tag a friend in the comments. You will be entered to win. We've been giving them away every single event out here. Well, a double broadcast day. It's already been a fun one. We're about ready to kick off the Outdoor Research Ultimate Pump Track Challenge. You came to the right place if you like racing. It starts right now.
So bad, it's a party round here. All I see is gold, get us through my cardies round here. Always on top of the money, never tardy round here. Now I'm on top and they love me, keep some shorties round here. And we gon' pop us some bubbly, cause we going high, yeah.
Pump track time, new course, same format. For those who are new, perhaps, to viewing a pump track event, Alan, explain how this competition is going to work today.
Well, like any head-to-head competition that we have out here at Crankworx, we are gonna qualify these riders. Each rider got 2 visits to the course. Their times are gonna go together. We're gonna put them in a bracket, head-to-head competition. Each rider is going to get an opportunity on each side of the track. The maximum differential combined is what is going to be the difference between these 2 riders moving on and are going home.
We've trimmed the field down from 32 to 16, and then from 16 down to 8. We're picking up action right there. Of course, it's a pump track race. And the way we do it on the Crankworx World Tour is there's no chain. We've got jumps on this course as well, which is an added variable out here. You see, if a rider makes a mistake in the first berm, well, they're gonna have trouble generating enough speed to clear those doubles. They'll have to go around, which will cost them a lot of time. We're taking a look at our first bracket loaded up into the gate right now. Jordy Scott had a bye, so we're looking at Charlie Lester-Rosson and Caroline Buchanan. Caroline pulling double duty today.
Yeah, pulling double duty. Nice to see her back after that big crash she had on the slalom course. Weren't sure if we were going to have her back out, but always a pleasure.
It's been a long season. We've had some Crankworx Summer Series events, and we've had 2 World Tour events in the Southern Hemisphere. But today's the day we put a bow on it, finishing things up here where it all began in beautiful Whistler, British Columbia. Summer conditions have been a little bit different. We've had some nice rain, which have been really great conditions in the bike park. Maybe a little bit of a challenge for Adam Billinghurst and crew to keep this pump track rolling smoothly, making it really important for the riders to keep the train on the tracks in the middle of the line here. You don't want to get stuck in the muck on the outskirts. Here we go. It looks like we're getting close to gate drop here.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate pops down. Caroline Buchanan really going to be pushing here, using some of those BMX skills. This track is so tight right there, but Charlie's going to push her all the way to the finish. Caroline's extending that lead, crossing that beam with that advantage.
Well, it's cool to see Charlie Lester-Rosson out here. We talk about Caroline Buchanan pulling double duty today, but I've seen Charlie pull double duty as well. She was a medic down in Queenstown earlier this year for the Big Nacho Selection bike event. Great to see her making it into the round of 8 right there. Caroline Buchanan taking the advantage.
Yeah, these riders are going to switch sides and come back, but let's look at the replay right here. Caroline with a slight advantage out of the gate. These riders, again, have no chain on these bikes, so it's all about timing and body momentum out of the gate.
So as you mentioned, Alan, we'll get them back up to the top of the course, switch sides, fastest combined time will make it into the round of 4. Taking a look at our next heat loading up into the gate right now. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about the last opportunity to earn some points, not only for the Pump Track Series overall, but also King and Queen of Crankworx. 100 points for the win, with this being our last stop. This is the last opportunity. We're going to be crowning some champions out here within the next hour or so, which is always an exciting thing to do here in Whistler. Martha Gill, your reigning Queen of Crankworx from last season, loaded up in the gate against Kialani Hines.
Gate pops down. Both of these riders have won this event before. Looks like Martha gets a little bit off pump right there, but Kialani extends her lead, winning 2 years ago, looking to make a solid finish out here. She's going to have that advantage on about 0.2 over Martha going into this next round. Martha, our reigning Queen of Crankworx, out of the running right now, so we will have a new queen when this day is done.
Here we go, look back. I think the most interesting thing about this course layout, Alan, is in that first berm, if you are neck and neck with your competitor, you end up staring into each other's eyes. You're facing right at each other, turning 90 degrees in opposite directions.
Yeah, this track is so tight. I've noticed these riders coming into that final berm with so much speed that they're having to lean over like 2 or 3 rollers before they even get there. And to have the timing to be able to do that, it's so technical.
Well, it's great to see Sabina Košárková back out here. She had a big crash in dual slalom. We're going to take a look at that on our split screen right now. Gapping the shark fin, but having a hard time managing the speed after all, and she's blowing right over that berm. She says, all right, thanks a lot, y'all, for showing that. She's pointing right at the screen right now. Sorry about that, Sabina. You're good. Put it out of your mind.
Yeah, we're just showing how tough you are. You got this.
There's no big shark fins on this course.
Sabina's going to be going up against Dani Johnson. Let's see who's got it. Gate pops down. Sabina with a solid start. You see those rainbow stripes? She is the reigning pump
no.
track world champion. Looks like Dani goes a little off course right there. So Sabina just going to have to bring it home. Oh, a little bit of stunting. I like it.
Sabina with the style off the finish line jump. We never usually have a finish line jump in a pump track challenge. Grabbing the seat, doing it for the fans. Dani will have another opportunity. She'll get the maximum differential, which is 1.5 seconds. So, you know, anything can happen. Maybe Sabina will go over a berm again, hopefully not. But Dani's gonna get back up there and see what she can do to try to make it out of this matchup. A look at some results here after run 1 of these quarterfinals matchups.
Yeah, looking at the brackets here, the usual suspects, those faster qualifiers are taking the advantages going into the second run. So they're doing what they need to do to keep working their way down the brackets and hopefully get those medal matches.
Kialani Hines is here. Look out. She doesn't come to every stop, but when she does, she's always a front runner, and she can definitely spoil those points. Reminder, between Jordy and Sabina, we've got just 10 points separating them for the series overall. And a look now at our men's field.
Yeah, looking at that second heat, it jumps out to me. The number 12 and the number 13 bibbed person right there. That's a bit interesting. You don't see those riders coming in there, and then all the way at the bottom, we saw Reynolds actually eliminate our fastest rider that we've had out on the World Tour in this competition. So it's anybody's game out here.
A lot of times when we finally get to peak at these round of 8 brackets, you see 1 through 8 qualifiers. You don't typically see 11 and 12. So just pointing at the fact that seeding isn't everything, and it's all about the racing, and anything can happen. Typically does. Niels Bensink, though, great seeding run, number 1 qualifier, going up against the 8th place qualifier, Emmett Hancock, out of Canada. Expect the crowd to get loud, right? Crowd, you got a Canadian up there in the gate. There we go. Niels is a Canadian too. It's just flying the Netherlands flag still. Here we go.
Yeah, Bensink with an absolutely rocket ship start. He has the most unique style out there. Leg down, he's able to get his momentum out in front of that starting gate, gets that hole shot, and maintains that advantage all the way around over Emmett Hancock.
No big surprise there from your number 1 qualifier. Let's take a look back here. This is the type of precision you get out of Niels Bensink there at the top of your screen.
Former pump track world champion himself, so he knows how to get around these small, tight courses.
Got to give it up to Emmett, though, really keeping him honest, close to the back tire there. A very manageable differential. Ooh, are we going to have Luca and Otto here? We do. There you go. There's your 12th and 13th qualifiers you were talking about, Alan.
Yeah, no free passes. Both these riders earn their way in. Gate drops down Merrick. Otto maybe with a slight advantage, but look at that right there. As you talked about, Cam, they come together in that turn so tight and close. Otto with the advantage. Luca Cometti right on his heels. So kind of looking like maybe that one side is maybe a slight bit faster. So that's going to make these second rounds, once we move on, that much more interesting. Can they make up time? Can they make up enough time? That is the name of the game.
Merrick is on fire, though. Look at him. Casual Sundays out here. Blue denim jeans and a white cotton t-shirt. Come on. Don't let him beat you like that, Luca. You're wearing the race kit. You got this. Should we heckle Luca all day?
He's bigger than me. I'm going to say no.
We're just stoked you're in there in the round of 8, Luca. You got this, man. I believe. Jayce Cunning, number 3 qualifier in the gate against Tegan Cruz. We were talking about Tegan earlier. Not only did he win gold in the slalom in Australia, I'm going to shut up now so they can hear the cadence.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Tegan Cruz and Jayce Cunning, so good, so strong. Jayce with the power out of that turn, but Tegan gets a little bit extra. Coming back around the straight, the riders are very close. Tegan gapping out to flat.
It looked like a big lead, but Tegan Cruz just crossing the finish line by 1/10 of a second ahead of Jayce Cunning. Tegan on a tear right now. As I mentioned, winning the slalom in Cairns, getting 3rd in the slalom here just a couple days ago. I look back at some precise riding by both these riders, but Tegan Cruz coming away with the advantage.
Watch Tegan's front wheel out of that turn. He's got a little extra swiggle that he got, and I swear it's giving him just a little bit more momentum. Pumping everything, even stuff that's not even there.
Now this is directed to our at-home audience who's cozy on the couch with maybe a nice cool beverage, but if you got a phone in your pocket, you can play too, Whistler. We're gonna ask you a couple questions. First one, what's your vibe on Crystal Viper number 10? We probably should mention what Crystal Viper number 10 is. That is the name of this very unique pump track right here, designed and built by Adam Billinghurst and crew. Answer 1 for it's a technical masterpiece, 2 for a true test of skill, 3 for who in the world named this and why am I terrified? Let us know, those are your 3 options. I asked Adam why he named it this, and he said, well, because I thought it was a cool name when I built the first one, and this is the 10th one. Fair enough, Adam.
Fair enough. It does kind of snake around. Maybe it's in the shape of a crystal. I'm not sure.
It's the Crystal Viper number 10. And this is a heat loaded in the gate consisting of Jayden Fleming, your number 7 qualifier, and Eddie Reynolds, the 18th qualifier who knocked out Ryan Gilchrist, the man who has locked up the King of Crankworx and the Pump Track Series already. Cinderella story here for Eddie Reynolds.
Eddie Reynolds going to have to give everything he's got against Jayden Fleming, our number 7 qualifier, but he does have about a bike length coming around that final turn. Can he bring that momentum all the way back? Eddie has found something later in these rounds.
I've got Eddie for the win. What do you got? Sure. You gonna agree with me?
What's on the line here?
Beer as always. It's always beer.
Okay, I'm gonna have to think about it then.
In that matchup against Gilly, though, I watched Eddie have just an immaculate first run, and I was thinking, wow, that's too bad you can have that good of a run, but if you're going up against Ryan Gilchrist, it's all for nothing. But then he summoned some sort of superhuman strength in run number 2 and sent Gilly to the showers. If you're ever gonna come back from 18th and take a win, knocking out the King of Crankworx and series overall champ is the way to do it. There we go, here's a look at the advantages after run number 1.
Tegan Cruz over Jayden Fleming. Another possible upset getting set right there. And like we just saw, Eddie Reynolds taking his heat. Merrick Otto winning that heat too.
Well, I'm looking forward to when we get to see Jordy. She qualified high enough, AKA first, to where she has a bye here in the quarterfinals, AKA round of 8. So we'll get back up and see who we will send to the round of 4. A look at Caroline Buchanan's tire choice. She's running the Icon in the front, the Pace in the rear, 85 PSI front and rear there. That is something you will only see either in pump track or slope style. Minimizing that rolling resistance there.
Yeah, hardening those tires is going to be a bit of a risk. It lowers your traction, but it also increases your pump, and that's what we're doing out here. We're looking for speed.
Pump. We got berms for traction. Who needs traction? It's about speed right now. I'll be quiet.
Pops down. Looks like Charlie has a little bit of a quicker reaction, trying to make up that time, but Caroline, a little bit of a stall out of there, having to regain her momentum, but she's able to do it.
Oh, Charlie's
so
close.
Powerful down the straight.
Charlie keeping her honest, but Caroline Buchanan will advance to the round of 4. And she posts the fastest time of the day. So pat yourself on the back, Charlie, for keeping close to her rear wheel. Nobody's gone faster yet today than Caroline in the women's category.
Yeah, Charlie had such a good reaction time out of that gate, but Caroline just proving too powerful through the rhythm, even with a slight stall out of that first turn, but she was able to make that correction and get back on it and across the line first.
Caroline Buchanan into the round of 4. Who else will punch their ticket? We got Martha Gill and Dani Johnson in the gate. Oh, it's Kialani. Look at that. Kialani, number 3 qualifier. Martha Gill behind by 0.28.
0.28 is not a lot of time, but it's going to be hard against Kialani Hines to make up that time.
Ooh, Kialani tags a little bit.
We did see a little bit of a tag out of Martha. Running off, oh, Martha runs wide right there. Giving it to Kialani. She will move on.
Both of them with issues there. But Kialani, lesser of the two issues, able to cleanly cross that finish line first. She had the advantage going in. Let's see what happened to Martha.
Yeah, like I was saying, these turns are so tight. There's that case that you saw out of Kialani. She was lucky, but like I was talking about, these turns are so tight. You're having to lean in before you get there, and if you don't lean in quite enough, once the G-force is hit, you're locked in, and you're not going to make it around the turn.
That's what we were talking about at the top of the show there. If you go offline, there's no getting back on. It's muck on either side of this pump track. Precision game out here. All right, we got some results coming in. We asked you what you're feeling on the Crystal Viper number 10, which is the nickname for this course. Neck and neck right now between It's a True Test of Skill and Who Named This and Why Am I Terrified? I'd vote number 3. Oh boy. Danny Johnson. Sabina Košárková. Run number 2. Sabina with the max differential of 1.5.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
It's going to be super important for Sabina to stay consistent with her speed, building it throughout the day. Even though she's got that 1.5, as we see, she's pushing all the way to the finish. Even gets a stunt in there now. Where did that line up on the fastest times of the day with a trick? That's
Good question. Yep. Sabina advances, and I too am curious to see where that stacks up in fastest times of the day. It was a smoke and run.
Perfect timing on the gate. You saw that little pre-hop, able to get the back tire over that kink right there into the wedge. No holding up there, loading up her legs, getting all of the momentum she can out of every single transition.
She's coming into that last jump fast enough to where she even has to scrub it a little bit to catch the landing. Definitely means she's carrying a lot of speed, and the stage is set for our semifinals matchup. We have whittled the field down to 4, and it's our top 4 qualifiers.
Yeah, that's that kind of standard qualification and bracket cut down that we usually see. Looking so much different in the men's bracket, though.
We're actually going to get to see Jordy Scott race for once now. We're into the round of 4, and she has no more buys. We still got another run to go for the men. Bensink with the advantage over Hancock coming up next. After that, it'll be Otto with the .35 advantage over Cometti. Cruz over Cunning, and Reynolds over Fleming. .2 in this one. The advantage belonging to Niels Bensink. Emmett Hancock with a little work to do.
Bensink, our fastest qualifier out here.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Emmett with .2 to make up. Definitely possible, but Bensink is going to have to be perfect already with a full bike length. He is building his day extremely fast. Gets that double back tire manual, multiplying his momentum across the finish line.
Niels Bensink showing why he has a number 1 next to his name. He advances into the semifinals.
It's hard to pinpoint any specific area where Bensink is really blowing off these competition. It's just a full package. The corners, the rollers, the pumps. Look at as he goes through, extending across the finish line. No time left on course.
Niels with a bronze medal here in this event just a year ago. Definitely in position to return to the podium if he plays his cards right. So far, so good. As we take a look at the next heat loaded in the gate, we got Luca back up there. Luca with a little bit of work to do, but definitely manageable. Merrick Otto with a .35 advantage.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate snaps out. Both riders getting a clean start. Let's see who's got the advantage as they come around. It looks like Otto Slight advantage, but Cometti is coming back on. Here he comes across. What does he got?
He needs 0.38. It's not going to be enough. He gets 0.08. Merrick Otto knocks out Luca Cometti. Merrick Otto into the semifinals. Way to go. Hey, you made him earn it though, Luca. Nice one. Luca did not hand that one over.
No, Merrick Otto pounding his chest, stoked to be making it on by the skin of his teeth. Luca Cometti was pushing all the way to finish. This is where I thought he was going to have it. He actually went into that final turn behind, came across in the lead. He was able to make up time, just not quite enough.
That kid is good. Can't wait to see who he meets up with in the round of 4. He's nodding his head. He's feeling it right here. Don't adrenaline dump quite yet, Merrick. You got a lot of work left to do. Okay, Tegan Cruz with the advantage of 0.1 flat over Jayce Cunning.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Jayce Cunning ripping out with aggression. You know he's going to leave it all on the course. He does not want to be eliminated right here. Getting a bike length and a half on Tegan, and then going right over. Front tire just going over that berm right there.
Wow.
Happens so fast, you do not see that coming. Let's hope Jayce is fine.
A lot of speed coming to an abrupt halt there. The crowd giving the love to Jayce Cunning. He's up and standing. Wow, what a heavy slam. You know, this is pump track, but when they get up to speed in such a short period of time, you're still, despite not going down a hill, you're still cooking. And you need to be so precise to stay in the ideal parts of these berms. It looked like his front tire just went right over, didn't it?
Yeah, in pump track, it's usually not as fast as you're going. That's the danger. It's how fast you stop.
So true. Impressive to see Jayce pop up that fast. Tegan, man, it's been a great season for you. What's it like being out here in front of the hometown crowd?
Yeah, there's nothing like racing at home in front of friends and family.
Yeah, man, you're ripping. What do you think? You gonna keep this rolling tonight?
I'm gonna do my best. There's so many talented riders in these Final Four, and yeah, excited to race alongside them.
Good luck, man. Great to see you out there.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for him. Tegan Cruz out here. What do you think? Yeah. Sure, Whistler Mountain Bike Park has people from all over the world, but it is a tight community out here, and they do a great job at cheering on their own. They're born and bred professional racers from the sea to sky corridor. What do we got here next? All right, Jayden Fleming and Eddie Reynolds. Eddie Reynolds on a tear right now. He's got a .42 advantage over Fleming.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Can Eddie Reynolds keep the dream alive? So fast out of the gate right there. These riders side by side. Eddie with a little bit more momentum. Can he hold on to that across the line? Look at that. Eddie keeps it going. Amazing.
Yeah, don't bet against Eddie out there today. He's looking on point. What does that sign say? Ah, it's gone. Eddie Reynolds knocking out Jayden Fleming. Tegan Cruz, oh, we just had him over here. I wish we were able to tell him he has the fastest time of the day, 10 seconds flat. Eddie Reynolds with the second fastest time of the day. Ooh, as I'm taking a look at, yeah, that's who we're gonna see in the next heat together for the semifinals matchup. It will be Eddie Reynolds and Tegan Cruz. That'll be a good one.
You think we're gonna see something below the 10s? We're gonna get something in the 9s?
I think so.
Generally, it does get faster as the day go on. Martha's stoked.
So it's going to be Niels Bensink and Merrick Otto. Heat number 1 of the semifinals. Then Tegan Cruz and Eddie Reynolds in heat number 2 of the semifinals matchup. Just to remind you at home, we're giving stuff away, but you can only win if you play. The way you can play is by following at Crankworx and at Darko Clothing on Instagram. Like the post that shows these products we're giving away, and tag a Rowden buddy in the comments. We're giving away some jorts. We already asked the live audience here. They cheered for the jorts. Jorts seem to be a big thing right now. It could be a big thing for you if you play our game. You'll also win a white organic cotton tee, some knee pads, and elbow pads. Man, Alan, it is so wild to think that we are celebrating the 20th running of Crankworx Whistler. Time flies. We're looking back to Crankworx Whistler 2004. Gareth Dyer, Aaron Chase, Cedric Gracia, Wade Simmons, Thomas Vanderham, Cam Zink. Look at all these riders out there. Kurt Voorhees. The glory days of Crankworx setting the tone. Kyle Emmett, yes, setting the tone for 20 years of action through all these disciplines. There's Timo Pritzel jumping over the entire feature. Tyler Klassen, Paul Bass. Oh, these were the days out there, Alan.
Free ride cowboys, these guys right here. The reason why we made it happen. Definitely awesome to see it all come together. 20 years feels like forever. Are we getting old?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
Dang it.
That was footage from Slopestyle in 2004. It was the second year they ran a Slopestyle out here on this boneyard. And to think now we've spread this Crankworx thing into a world tour that lived on for 20 years and running. We just announced the first stop of the 2026 tour. It's going to be Rotorua, New Zealand, again, March 11th through 15th. Mark your calendars. And now set an alarm for the semifinals of the Outdoor Research Ultimate Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox, because we're about ready to get the women's run number 1 of the round of 4 into the gate and ready to rock. We're finally going to see Jordy Scott. She's going to be going up against Caroline Buchanan.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works as an athlete. Getting those buys, it definitely takes the pressure off in those early rounds. But now this is her first head-to-head that we've seen here post round of 8. So her competitor, Caroline Buchanan, has been battling for the last few rounds. How's it going to pay off?
We got another question for our audience joining us via the Red Bull Bike YouTube channel at home. What's the biggest factor in a title decider? Answer 1 for staying calm under pressure. Yeah, valid. Answer 2 for executing every transition. Answer 3 for pure power on the straightaways, or 4 for believing you've got it. I'm going with number 4.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, the level of riding is so high that these riders, any of them can win, and it's that mental edge that really pushes them across that finish line first.
If you've made it to the round of 4, well, you already know how to do all that other stuff. You just got to be strong between the ears and underneath that helmet to execute while the pressure's on. So Caroline Buchanan all warmed up from the round of 8 matchup as we join Jordy Scott, your number 1 qualifier, into the fold.
Jordy Scott popping out. Again, that unorthodox gait style with no chain. Look at these riders side by side. Caroline maybe a slight advantage. This is where it comes together.
Wow.
Over the jump, across the finish line. Caroline Buchanan with that advantage, 0.080, almost nothing in it.
That's nothing. You're right. 0.08 of a second there. Caroline Buchanan still owning the fastest time of the day.
Jordy Scott coming out with a really good start, and that maybe is that's a little bit what I'm talking about, that intensity that Jordy needs. Caroline's already been building up her intensity with those head-to-head matches, but Jordy Scott definitely is not going to just let it slide.
You know what's crazy, Alan, is if you look at the overall and you consider this is the final race of the season, you've got Jordy Scott and Sabina Košárková separated by 10 points. And then you got Caroline, who's just down there in 3rd, and she can do whatever she wants out here by racing fast. She can really shake up the standings. She would love to rocket ship herself a little higher up those leaderboards. Here we go. Run number 1 here for Kialani, Hines and Sabina Košárková. Should be a fast one. Number 2 and 3 qualifiers.
Kialani Hines historically very, very fast here in the Crankworx pump track. Sabina is going to have her first matchup against her with about half a bike length coming around the final straight. Oh, it looks like Kialani had a little bit of a hesitation coming out of that turn and ran wide.
Issues for Kialani, still managing to keep it out of the weeds enough to not have the maximum differential. It's just gonna be under that 1.28 it looked like. So flawless for Sabina, issues for Kialani, but it ain't over yet.
See if we can see what happened to Kialani right here. Yeah, just runs a little bit wide right there. Not quite enough speed to get up and over that jump. Just barely on the track right there.
Isn't it funny? It's like the ideal line is absolutely perfect, but it's very narrow to keep yourself on that ideal line.
Yeah, and it's almost like it gets skinnier the faster you go.
100%. Here we go. Semifinal matchups for the men. Niels Bensink squaring up against Merrick, Otto, Tegan, Cruz, and Eddie Reynolds in heat number 2. It's a good day to be in the bike park. Hey, you guys up on the left. Do you agree it's a good day to be in the bike park, huh? Yeah, what trail are you riding? Oh, you're riding A-Line. Good call.
Duh.
Duh. Look at this guy. Look at this Merrick Otto. He wants to just wreck things today, doesn't he? He's like, oh, #1 qualifier. Yeah, cool. Line him up.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Sometimes that no-lose mentality is all you need, but Niels Bensink is not going to let it go. Otto very close. These riders almost touching on that straightaway. Bensink powering through with an advantage of 0.57. Merrick definitely not out.
I'd say Merrick maybe got a little bit off balance in that, was it the first or second berm, but he had an insane start. I feel like he's gonna be able to make that up. He's got what it takes, 0.5. I wanna learn more about this kid. What's his story? Here's where I'm thinking. It was the second berm.
Yeah, I think you got him a little
bit. Yeah.
You got him too hyped. I blame you.
I know. I thought about that when I saw him take his hand off and pat his chest. I was like, I am going to be quiet. You got this, Merrick. So Niels Bensink with the advantage, just over a half second.
Good little warm-up for these top pump track riders. The World Championships happening next month in Switzerland. Should be pretty exciting to see who can maintain those World Championship stripes.
Speaking of those stripes, we see Ryan Gilchrist flying those, Sabina Košárková flying those. Will have an opportunity to defend those stripes in just a few weeks. Yeah, we can't see Merrick's start from that angle, but he had a good one.
You know, let's see how close they come together out of this turn. This is what you were talking about when they come together. Just a few inches separating them.
Second berm is where he got a little bit off balance.
Yeah, just a little wider. It looks like he actually flinched maybe when Niels came around that corner.
Ooh, they were actually taking a look at that for a missed gate, but they say he was good. It is close, right? Right next to your competitor.
So close.
All right. Tegan, Cruz. All right, Whistler. You're going to have to get loud, but after the gate drops, okay? And Eddie Reynolds.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
All right, get loud for these two here. Eddie Reynolds and Tegan Cruz on course.
Both riders with super clean starts. Eddie rockets out of the turn with a slight advantage. Tegan starting to pull it together. What's it going to be across the line?
Oh, I thought Eddie was throwing it away after that second berm. How did you hold on to that, Eddie? I don't know, man.
Eddie able to hold on with it, gonna finish with a disadvantage.
But
0.1.
just 0.15, that's nothing.
That is not a lot.
It's gonna be
strong run out of Tegan Cruz right there.
That's gonna be a good second matchup, you guys. Hey, Eddie and Tegan.
Yeah, Eddie
Tegan.
barely holding on to that one.
Raise your hand if you think you're going to advance. Oh, Eddie raised first, Tegan. That better not be you out of the gate.
That is the right answer.
Way to go, Tegan. 0.15. It's going to be fun to watch. All right. Next heat is loading into the gate. We got Caroline with just 0.08 of a second advantage over your number one qualifier, Jordy Scott. Jordy Scott, the leader of the series, just by 10 points ahead of Sabina. All right, take a look at these points right here. Jordy Scott in the lead, 10-point lead over Košárková. There's 100 points for the win, 80 points for second, 60 points for third. Caroline Buchanan within striking distance to really shake things up and be a determining factor. If she advances and sends Jordy to the showers, it could be the end of the line for Jordy. But she only has to make up 0.08 of a second, and she is poised and ready to do it. Here we go.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Both riders, solid starts. This is where Jordy's gonna have to lay down the power and leave it all on the track. Side by side with Caroline Buchanan. It looked like Jordy getting a little bit more speed down that straightaway, and it does look like she will make up that differential.
Wow, in the clutch. Jordy Scott with all the pressure on, not only makes it through this round, but posts the fastest time of the day. That is triumph under pressure right there.
Yeah, I think she's awake now and ready to go.
That was an insane amount of pressure, actually.
Yeah, you see Jordy comes down, gets a really solid start. Look at her back tire where it's landing on these transitions. Some of these jumps you have to jump, and that makes it really difficult. You cannot come up short at all. You have to be absolutely perfect. We see Caroline kind of explain she was barely holding on and almost didn't make it across that last jump, but she did.
Okay, a lot of pressure in the tires out here, 85 PSI in some cases, but yeah, a lot of pressure for you in the gate right there. What's going through your mind?
Not too much, just listen to you guys tell me how much I needed to make it out of that round, but made it happen, so these next few races should be really fun.
I've been curious, and I feel like you're the right person to ask. Do you think one of these lines is faster than the other?
I think Ryder's left is a bit faster. We got a lot more practice on it. The right side was kind of soft this morning, so we did so many more laps on that left side. So I think that's why it's faster.
Awesome. Well, we've been wondering that. Now we know. Hey, you are killing it. You've been killing it all season long. We've got a lot of math going on there for the Queen of Crankworx overall and the Pump Track overall. Best of luck going forward. We're going to keep putting the pressure on you because it seems to help. Way to go, Jordy. What a champion, Jordy Scott. Man, it's been so fun to watch her the past few seasons climb the ranks and absolutely accept every challenge we've thrown at her, from speed and style to pump track to slalom. Insane. Kind of like this heat right here in the gate. Sabina Košárková with a 1.28 advantage over Kialani Hines after Kialani had a bit of an issue in run number one. Here we go.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Sabina with a solid start. Kialani hangs up a little bit on that first jump. That's going to give Sabina a bit of an advantage doing what she needs to do. She's been on a collision course with Jordy Scott since this morning, and it looks like we're going to get to see them come together.
Sabina advances. Ooh, things are really heating up here in our overall series standings. Jordy and Sabina both still alive.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kialani just not able to recover from that first mistake on that jump. Hung up just a little bit, going back to what I was just talking about.
Sabina, flying these rainbow stripes out here, coming from the BMX background, obviously a pump track world champion. It's so great to have you on tour. When you started this season, did you think you were going to follow the whole thing? Did you think you were going to be here in Whistler?
No, I just thought I'll be in Rotorua and then follow with Kieran's triple win. I was like, okay, I'm coming to Whistler and see what I can do here.
What's it like to have such a tight matchup for the pump track overall standings with you and Jordy?
I know like Jordy's gonna win, but there's a pump track and super happy to be with Jordy in the final and battle for the pump track overall standing.
We are so excited to watch it. Best of luck out there. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah, just to think back, earlier this year in Christchurch was Sabina's first ever pump track race on dirt. Usually in the World Championship Series, she's on paved pump tracks on her BMX bike, but able to be like water and completely change the way she rides that bike and dominating out here.
So Caroline Buchanan and Kialani Hines will battle it out for the bronze medal, while our 1 and 2 qualifiers are 1 and 2 in the series. Jordy Scott and Sabina Košárková will duke it out for the gold.
Now, I'm no mathematician, but if they're 10 points apart and there's 20 points difference for first and second, it's kind of a winner-take-all for the overall, right?
I love it. That's what it's all about. That's why we have these overall series. It's fun. That's what this whole thing is about, I'm pretty sure. Unless something's changed, I'm pretty sure it's all for fun. Niels Bensink with the advantage over Merrick Otto. This is an interesting one. I like to see what's going to happen here.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Merrick Otto needing to make up just over a half a second. Can he do it?
He got that start, maybe something you saw in that previous round, but unfortunately, looks like Bensink is going to be way too strong for him.
Yeah, wow. Niels Bensink, #1 qualifier, ruling with an iron fist here, sending Merrick Otto to the bronze medal round. Night is not over yet, Merrick. That's right, you can still pick up some hardware.
Merrick is fired up, I love it. There's Niels Bensink with that unorthodox starting gate style, leg down, able to get that momentum going. And right there, he's got a full bike length. At that point, Niels just knows he needs to bring it across the line, not make any mistakes, looking ahead to the next match.
Some veteran skill at play there for Niels Bensink. Right, who will join Niels in the gold medal matchup, and who will be relegated to the bronze medal matchup against Merrick Otto? We are moments away from finding out. Here's where we stand. Tegan Cruz with the advantage of just 0.15 over Eddie Reynolds. That's a blink of an eye.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Both riders with the confidence of qualifying, they're going to push it to the absolute limit, side by side out of that turn. A little bit of hesitation out of Tegan. Can he regain that momentum? Eddie Reynolds comes across the line.
He got 0.34. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Eddie Reynolds does it. Sends Tegan Cruz to the bronze medal matchup. The 18th qualifier nonetheless.
I'm going to need a backstory on this qualifying run, Eddie. Were you laying up?
I'll get the backstory. What the heck? I'm going to get him to come over here. Come here, Eddie.
Eddie Reynolds coming from that 18th qualifying position.
Eddie, so fast, my dude. So fast. What was up with qualifying? How did you end up in 18th if you're posting fast lap times like you have been?
I kind of went off the track. Had to do a little shimmy, get back onto the berm and stretch this last double. It worked, though.
You knocked out Ryan Gilchrist earlier on. What did that feel like?
Felt good. I knew qualifying pretty bad that I'd have to race someone fast early. I was kind of stoked about that. Got it done.
You and Niels, I'm looking at those Silver Star results. You got third, he got first. Were you guys in a heat together in that one as well?
Silver Star.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think so. That was, 2022 I went to Silver Star? I don't even remember.
He slept since then, Cam.
Well, guess what? You're in the gold medal matchup right now, and you earned it the hard way coming from the 18th qualifying position. Congratulations, Eddie Reynolds, moving in. It's going to be exciting to see what you can do with it.
Hopefully he can make a memory he'll remember. Top step of the podium and do that to a guy.
Like, I don't know, man.
Looking at these medal matchups, Niels Bensink versus Eddie Reynolds. Merrick, Otto, and Tegan Cruz will be going for that bronze medal.
Look at that. 13th qualifier in the bronze medal matchup, 18th qualifier in the gold medal matchup. Never know with pump track, and you never know who's gonna win a pair of jorts and an organic white cotton tee, courtesy of Darko. You're gonna be looking cool on the trails or cruising around town in those clothes, but you're gonna keep yourself safe as well if you win the gravity vest and gravity knee pads. Follow Crankworx, follow Darko Clothing, like the post, tag your riding buddy to be entered for a chance to win that prize package. We're still asking people questions, Alan. What are we asking them now?
What's the biggest factor in a little decider?
In a title decider.
Oh, it's the reflection.
Yeah,
title.
totally.
I was thinking to myself, what does that even mean?
Well, the people are liking staying calm under pressure.
That is definitely important, especially on this track. Like we said, how easy it is to override.
Remember the answer that we liked? Yeah, nobody else liked that. 0% of the votes. I guess we should start voting. We're busy, though. Kialani Hines, Caroline Buchanan for the bronze medal. Run 1. Here we go.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Both of these riders are gonna bring it. You know they wanna walk out of here with a medal. Looking really clean so far. Kialani with a slight advantage, pulls ahead, but Caroline Buchanan, can she pull it back down this back straight? No, Kialani Hines with the advantage. It looks like a 0.2.
0.26, yeah, just about a quarter of a second advantage there for Kialani Hines over Caroline Buchanan. Quarter of a second's doable.
Yeah, definitely doable with these two riders. They are consummate professionals, been in this sport for so long. Caroline hanging up just a little bit.
That could have been it right there, that quarter of a second.
Just the bounce of her tire with 85 PSI in there, that split second extra that her tire was in the air almost set her up a little late for that turn.
Run number 1 in the bronze medal matchup, loaded into the gate right now. Merrick, Otto, Tegan, Cruz. Bit of a Cinderella story here for Merrick, Otto. Tegan Cruz looking to ride the wave of momentum that he has built for himself in the last stop and earlier here in Whistler this week.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Merrick does have that magic start, but is it enough to beat Tegan Cruz? Tegan Cruz with that advantage, extending all the way around that back turn. Oh, Merrick slips a pedal and has to eject. That was exciting. Big starfish coming across the finish line. Yeah, Merrick, nice job, buddy. So cool to see the excitement of a fresh-faced rider out here.
Tegan Cruz like, all right, I'll take that 1.5 max differential.
Cannot wait to see the replay on that eject.
Yeah, let's get a nice replay of that.
You can see Tegan with a slight advantage coming around this turn about a bike length. And Merrick really having to put on the pressure right there. Overriding just a little bit.
Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
He forgot he didn't have a chain. He's like, I need a stroke. Oh, no.
Not today, buddy.
Oh, like, I get it. It is so weird to not have a chain. And in the heat of the moment of competition, you want to get every advantage you can, and it's just instinct to try to crank a pedal. We saw that in one of the earlier rounds as well.
Yeah, how do you turn off the instinct to pedal when you know you're going to come up short?
I need to pedal. My chain broke yesterday. I was in the same boat all day in the bike park. Definitely did a few accidental pedals. All right. This is run number 1 of the gold medal matchup for the women. Jordy Scott, your number 1 qualifier, going up against Sabina Košárková, your number 2 qualifier. Who will take the advantage?
Okay, riders, random start. Rider is ready. Watch the gate.
For the overall, here we go. 1 and 2 in the series standings on course.
Watching these riders come out, it looks like Sabina has an advantage, a full bike length over Jordy Scott. Jordy able to bring it in just slightly, but that advantage, 0.26. I think that is the same advantage that Jordy made up in the last round. So it is possible.
Oh man, it's possible. Sabina posting the fastest time of the day there, 0.26 to make up for Jordy Scott for the series overall.
Do you think she was getting in Jordy's head when she predicted that Jordy would beat her?
I was wondering.
Oh yeah, you got this. Not.
Jordy will win. That was a mind game. I like it. Shooting mind bullets.
Yeah, just that acceleration out of that final turn from Sabina, on point with every single one of her pumps, getting the maximum amount of momentum.
0.26 looks like a big number on paper or on a jumbo screen, but when you see it in slow motion, it is absolutely nothing. Still anybody's game in run 2 there for a gold medal matchup for the women between Jordy and Sabina. Gold medal matchup, run number 1 for the men. Niels Bensink, your number 1 qualifier, and all the way from 18th in seeding. We just talked to him moments ago, Eddie Reynolds.
Both riders looking clean coming out of the gate. Eddie Reynolds is going to have to absolutely have an amazing run. Bensink starts to pull away, but Eddie coming back right there.
Two runners left side right there. 0.09 in favor of Bensink. Wow. And that's the fastest time of the day, 9.89.
We are in the nines, my friends.
Eddie's got the second fastest time of the day, sub 10 seconds as well.
Yeah, these riders looking unbelievably fast, breaking that 10-second mark, just in hyper speed around this course.
I couldn't decide who to watch when we were watching this in real time. Such a tight race there.
Yeah, Eddie was actually able to make up almost a full bike length coming down to the line, so he was on the move but ran out of time.
So Niels Bensink with the advantage over Eddie Reynolds after run 1 of 2 in the gold medal matchup. Hey guys, what trail you riding? Yeah, you, what trail you riding? He's like, they could not possibly be talking to me. Let's try these guys. Now we got a heat loading up.
Let's say A-line.
Let's stay focused here, Alan.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
A look back at what happened in run 1 here. Caroline and Kialani.
Yeah, super close between both of these riders. You see Caroline getting a little bit hung up going in there, and she knew she had to put all of her power down, but Kialani was just a little bit too fast.
So Kialani owning the advantage into this final run of the bronze medal matchup for the women. Caroline needing to make up just over a quarter of a second.
Caroline on the possibly slightly faster course Smells blood in the water, but Kialani Hines is not going to want to let it up. These riders, nothing in between them. Coming around the final turn, what's it going to be?
Whoa.
Both riders make the jump.
Oh, it's so close. Not going to be enough there for Caroline. Kialani Hines secures the bronze medal.
Sigh of relief out of Kialani. That shows how much it means to her to be here at Crankworx, getting that medal in front of you crowd here in Whistler. Running a really clean race right there. I didn't see any mistakes. Right there, there was nothing in between them. Not exactly sure. Let's see if we can pinpoint. Yeah, clean run from Caroline. Right there, was able to extend and actually win that heat, but not enough to make up that differential.
Kialani, pop that helmet off. I'll set the stage here for you. A silver medal just a year ago here. You're back on the podium in 2025 with a bronze medal. They made you earn it, didn't they? What keeps you coming back to Whistler for more?
Oh my God, Whistler's like the best race of the year, and honestly, as stressful as it is, I love racing these girls, and I haven't been riding this bike much, but I know they've been on fire, so I had to bring it today. It was a big one.
You've been getting out in the bike park for some laps as well?
Yeah, mostly bike park this year. Usually I'm doing everything else, but I just enjoyed the park and friends this year. It's fun.
It sounds like you're doing it for fun, but you're also finding success as well. Congratulations on the bronze medal. Cheers.
Yeah, always down to make the pilgrimage to Whistler. Plenty of reasons to be here if you're only competing or not.
Yeah, just sign up for the pump track race, see how it goes. She ends up on the podium. Well, there we go. That's a bronze medal for the women. We're going to take you back in time a few minutes. Run number 1 for the men in the bronze medal matchup.
Yeah, this is where it gets exciting for Merrick right here. Goes for a pedal, but no chain. Has to pull the ripcord. Tegan Cruz crossing the line. He will get that maximum differential coming into this heat.
Merrick will not be pedaling this lap, right, Merrick? No pedaling? All right, all right. He's like, oh, we'll see what happens. Merrick need to make up the 1.5. Tegan Cruz, can he secure the bronze medal? He just needs a smooth run here. Let's get behind him, Whistler.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Tegan gets the whole shot right there. Now he just needs to get it across the line, hold on to it, don't override it. But here comes Merrick. He's not done. He wants it. Let's see what he can bring across the line, gapping to flat. I love it. This kid is having fun.
Yep, I hope we see more of Merrick Otto in the future. Great show, man. Way to go, and congratulations to Tegan Cruz grabbing that bronze medal. Let's hear it for him, Whistler.
Yeah, Tegan Cruz got the whole shot right there and controlled the race. We saw Merrick accelerate right there going into the final turn, but it just wasn't going to be enough. I like that, just gap into flat. Street credit.
Tegan, successful week out here at Crankworx Whistler for you. A pair of bronze medals. What were your expectations for yourself coming into this week of festivities?
Yeah, I knew coming in it was going to be a monster week with 6 races, and coming straight from the Summer Series in Silver Star was, pretty exciting with all the points with my buddy Jackson Frew. We're going back and forth, and it was a battle all week long, and it was an awesome week.
End of the Crankworx Festival tour today, but I'm sure your season is far from over. What's coming up next for you?
A few weeks off, probably gonna hit the lake, do some wake surfing, and then get back to training and gear up for Fox US Open and the last couple World Cups in North America.
That's what I like to hear. Enjoy the downtime and best of luck with the rest of the season. Congratulations on the bronze medal, Tegan Cruz. Some well-earned downtime coming up for Tegan.
Yeah, gonna have to ramp it back up. Those World Cup races are no joke.
All right, let's take a peek back. Remind ourselves what went down in run number 1 between Jordy Scott and Sabina Košárková.
Yeah, super tight race between these riders. Sabina hanging up a little bit right there, but she was just so powerful right here. Look at that perfection coming back across the line. Jordy knows what she needs to do. She made up that differential on this course in that last round, so can she do it again?
Here we go. It all comes down to this for our women's field. Gold medal on the line. Sabina Košárková with the advantage over Jordy Scott of just .26. Series overall determined in this run.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
This is for all the marbles right here. Jordy Scott doing what she needs to do, getting a solid start. She does have an advantage coming around, but this is Sabina's strong point coming back up from the back corner.
Jordy needs
What's it gonna
.26.
be?
She gets .12. It's not going to be enough for Jordy. Sabina Košárková secures the gold medal.
I don't think she was kidding. The look of surprise is real. You did it.
It is not every day we get to see a series overall come down to the very last run for the gold medal and the overall.
Yeah, so exciting right there, but Sabina able to keep composed right here coming out of the turn. She could see Jordy had an advantage, but she kept her in her sights, knew she had that advantage, managed it all the way to the finish line, almost looping out, trying to get that thrust across the line.
Sabina, this season, come on, a bronze and 2 gold medals. I feel like you got a lot to celebrate out here. What is coming up next for your season?
We have World Championship in pump track in 2 weeks, so I gotta get ready for that. And I'm super stoked to take the win today. It was a big week for me, crashing a lot, and yeah, this is such an awesome win.
You know what? It is not every day we get to see a series overall come down to the absolute final run. What would you like to say to Jordy Scott for just pushing you to your limit all season?
I'm so happy to meet Jordy this year and just like racing with her, because I know she was racing BMX as well. So it's pretty good to see 2 BMXers here.
Well, good stuff. It's fun to watch, but also I got to ask you this. We kind of swept you up on tour. You weren't planning to follow all 3 stops. Next year, are you going to join us for 2026 Crankworx World Tour?
I was thinking about it, and I will join you guys.
Yeah, that's right. We got another one. One of us. Peer pressure always wins. Hey, let's hear it for Sabina Košárková, your gold medalist.
Your gold medalist and series overall pump track champion. I do believe this year, earlier in Christchurch, was her first pump track race on dirt and a mountain bike. Can
Look
you
at her
believe
now.
that?
Yeah, we recruited another one. I really put her on the spot there. Thank goodness she didn't say no. Well, we got another gold medal to give out here, Alan.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Why not? But to refresh our memories, let's take a peek back at run number 1 between Niels Bensink and Eddie Reynolds.
Yeah, Niels Bensink, one of the guys on the crew building this track. He has an intimate knowledge of where he needs to make his speed up. Eddie Reynolds, so strong coming down this final straight. You see him speed up, actually makes up some time, but not enough. Bensink will have a slight advantage going into this race.
Number 1 qualifier going up against number 18 qualifier here. It is Eddie Reynolds versus Niels Bensink. The advantage is a small one. It belongs to Niels Bensink, but it's just 0.09 of a second. It's anybody's game here.
About half a tire length.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
These riders with completely different styles. Looks like Eddie Reynolds got maybe slightly hung up out of the gate right there. Niels Bensink with a bike and a half length. Eddie Reynolds is not going to leave anything on the table. Huge stunt right there. Doing it for the fans.
Well, Eddie Reynolds may be the people's champ out there. He gets a silver medal, but the gold goes to Niels Bensink.
That is a perfect pour right there. Niels Bensink's last visit to the course was the fastest run of the day. What a race for Niels Bensink.
Niels securing the 2 fastest times of the day here today.
Boom, there it is. Gold medal here at Crankworx Whistler. Looking back at, you see that slight hesitation right there. I think maybe he jumped the gate and bumped his front wheel. Again, no chain on that bike to make up for something like that, so Eddie just had to leave it all on the course. This one's for the fans right here. Big old toboggan to flat. Like it, but that's gonna be your champion today, Niels Bensink.
Niels, I'd venture to guess you like the course based on just the statistics that you qualified first and took the gold medal, but what were your thoughts when you laid eyes on this beauty?
Oh man, it's been an honor just working with Adam and Ollie and Caden this week. It's been a hard week, lots of work, but super proud of what we put together, and I think everybody liked it. Some tire racing, so yeah, it was an amazing day.
Anything you'd like to say to the Whistler crowd out here cheering you all on all week?
Yeah, there's so many people here, it's awesome, so thanks for coming out. Luckily the weather held up, so it was a sick race.
What a great day. Congratulations, Niels Bensink, on the gold medal. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. Niels Bensink. That was one heck of a pump track race, Alan.
Yeah, so much action in a 10-second race. I couldn't believe it. Looking at these brackets here, how it ended up. Bensink, your gold medalist. Eddie Reynolds, we did mention he had a little bit of a bobble in that qualifying, but to be able to go through those rounds and race those higher qualified riders all the way to the gold medal matchup, hats off to Eddie Reynolds with a heck of a performance.
What a show. Pretty fun to be able to wrap up the 2025 Crankworx World Tour with such a hard-fought battle, especially that one in the women's category right there, coming to the absolute last run of the year. It's been a great season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been an awesome season. So many events starting on the Southern Hemisphere, Summer Series events combining with the Crankworx World Tour for this overall. So fun to watch.
Well, with this being the final event of the season, that means we got to talk about King and Queen of Crankworx final standings. We've checked in on these standings a lot over the past few months, but never called them the final standings. Let's have a look. What do we got, Alan?
We got Jordy Scott at the top of the Queen ranking with 1,025 points over Sabina, Košárková, and Caroline Buchanan. Jordy Scott is your 2025 Queen of Crankworx.
How about that? A former queen in fourth, former queen in third, a rookie to the World Tour in second, and a first-time queen there, crowning Jordy Scott. Oh, look who we have here. Well, first, let's talk about the King standings, and then I'll spoil the surprise of who we have here.
Yeah, we got Ryan Gilchrist dominating the season, able to come back from a big crash in Cairns, got some surgery, was able to get himself back together, get as many points as he could here in Whistler, and doing what he needed to do.
Well, you two, it is a long, long season, 3 stops, plenty of disciplines. There's been a lot of ups and downs, as there always is for anybody who's ever won a King of Crankworx. This is your second King of Crankworx title, Ryan Gilchrist. You had some big highs and some heavy lows. Talk to me about the entire process that was this roller coaster 2025 season for you.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. It's pretty surreal. Just like last year, I'm kind of pinching myself. Like you said, high highs, low lows, probably the biggest injury in my career and also the biggest comeback in my career. And to be able to come back and get some wins and get some more points for the King of Crankworx is massive. And I think it definitely speaks to the support that I've got. Kind of wanted to dedicate this to my mechanic, Mark, who unfortunately couldn't be here at the moment. But without him, none of this would be possible. So yeah, huge shout out to Mark.
Does it make it any easier, the fact that you've done it before?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's never easy. Like, winning a race is hard, and you've got to win races to win the overall. So I think it's all about just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to win one race at a time and put it all together at the end of the season.
Congratulations, everybody. Ryan Gilchrist, the 2025 King of Crankworx, making it 2 years in a row, earning that title.
And
Jordy, let's chat to Jordy.
Yeah, Jordy, we've been watching you on the Crankworx World Tour for years now. We've seen your versatility. We've seen you step up your game when we're doing speed and style. I know that this crown has been on your list for a while. How does it feel to finally check that box?
It feels so good. Even this year, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, and these last 2 years, I've been working so hard to get here. So I'm so happy to finally take that one off the dream list.
So I got to ask, is this like, I finally did it, or are you motivated? We're going to see you back defending this title.
I don't think I could ever leave Crankworx, so I'm sure I'll be back.
That's what I like to hear. Jordy's going to be back. There's your king and queen.
Hey, Way to go, you two. The royal couple right here. I know you guys have relationships. Don't get it the wrong way. This is all role play here. We are LARPing on the Crankworx World Tour. This is a royal couple right here. King, Ryan, Gill, Chris, Queen, Jordy, Scott, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and for putting on such a great show this season. Hey, Martha back here with a Queen Jordy sign. See if we can get her to wear that. Cut out this crown. You got a crown already? All right, have fun celebrating tonight, you two. Well, we got more prizes to give away. This time to you, the viewer. We've been giving away the Darko care packages. And this is the winner from our downhill event here, Blair Chandler. Congratulations. We're going to get this bag of goodies sent to your address. I hope you're still with us right now so you know you won. We'll be in contact with you. Congratulations, Blair.
I also hope they're still with us and they didn't pass away before they could get this beautiful care package.
We could have gotten you this protective gear. It would have been okay. All right, the winner from this broadcast right here, the pump track, is Tam E at Ox Tam Starox. Congratulations at Ox Tam Starox. We're going to send you a pair of jorts, a white t-shirt, some knee pads, and some elbow pads courtesy of Darko. Congratulations. Wow. Wrapping up the 2025 season right here in the birthplace of it all, Whistler, BC, and setting our sights on new horizons for the 2026 series. We will kick that one off the way we always do, ceremoniously, in Rotorua, New Zealand. New Zealand's North Island. A great place to be when it turns to winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's going to be here before we know it, Alan.
Yeah, it will, Cam. It seems to come every year faster and faster. The true start to my year, in my opinion, it's not in January. It's when we finally get ourselves to Rotorua. That's when life starts.
March 11th through the 15th, 2026. Join us in person or join us live on Red Bull Bikes YouTube channel. Can't wait to start a whole nother season in a matter of months. Well, the dirt's good out here in the Whistler Mountain Bike Park. We're gonna have to get ourselves onto those chairlifts, Alan, but before we do that, we need to put out some thank yous. Thank you to the entire Crankworx crew, Boombox Productions, everybody, including the volunteers, the course designers who make this amazing event possible. We're celebrating the 20th edition of Crankworx Whistler right now, and I feel like we did it the best way we possibly could. We have nostalgia, we have new faces on the tour, we have big titles, and a lot of highlight reels from a 2025 season.
Yeah, such an awesome season from beginning to end. As you said, so many people, also the tour sponsors and the fans. Everyone like clocking in, leaving messages, getting involved. So cool to see the world come together around these events.
And let's not forget one group to thank. We got to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in on Red Bull Bike for all of our Crankworx 2025 broadcasts. It's been a heck of a season. We'll see you in Rotorua in March. Good night.
man. Burn up the bars and the chippy van. Breaking the cars, take the Lizzie man.